Today, we're making a dish that'll elevate your outdoor grilling: Whiskey BBQ burgers and Cajun potato wedges. Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome back to Dinner and a Side, where my sister and I solve your dinner dilemma with a main dish and a side. We're getting outside to do some grilling today, and I'm going to make a Whiskey BBQ burger that you're going to love.
And I'm making some crispy Cajun potato wedges to go with it.
In the spring and summer, we're outside grilling almost every day to stay out of the heat of the kitchen. I love burgers, doesn't really matter what you put on them, but this Whiskey BBQ burger is my favorite. It has a lot to do with the homemade Whiskey BBQ sauce. But if you don't like whiskey or you don't want to put alcohol in your sauce, it's okay, it'll still taste wonderful. Isn't it a beautiful day for grilling? This is why I love grilling outside so much. Today I'm using my Weber Genesis grill.
And I'm going to use my Ninja wood fire grill. I might even use the smoker.
Let's start by mixing up the burger patties. When we were young, our dad insisted on putting an egg into the burger mix.
I still add an egg.
Sorry, Dad, but I just don't think the egg is necessary. All it needs is a little olive oil, salt, and pepper. I usually go for an 80% lean, 20% fat burger mix. But once in a while I get fancy and go with a brisket, chuck, and short rib mix that you can get from the butcher. But that's just kind of a perfect blend for burgers. Don't overwork the meat. This can make your burgers tough and dry. I also add a small dimple to the center of each patty to keep it from puffing up when it cooks. The two things in this recipe that take the longest are the caramelized onions and the barbecue sauce. So I want to get those on so that they can be cooking in the background. For the onions, just cut them into large slices, and this is what we're going to use for our caramelized onions. Add the olive oil and just a pat of salted butter. Once it's hot and bubbly, you can add the sliced onions. Let them cook over medium-low heat for about 20 minutes. It's all about patience here. While that's cooking, I'll start the barbecue sauce. I'm making a smoky bourbon barbecue sauce, starting with the onions and the garlic. Then add the bourbon, ketchup, tomato puree, cider vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, salt and pepper, and liquid smoke if you like it. Whisk to stir it all up. Bring it to a boil, then reduce it to medium-low and simmer it for about 20 minutes. While I've got those things cooking back there, let's hop over to Angie and get started on those wedges.
Well, I don't know about you, but I love potato wedges. They're way more fun than French fries, and you can serve them with any seasoning or sauce that you like. Today I'm making a Cajun version. First, I'm going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. Then I'm going to cover a baking sheet with parchment paper. I really go back and forth on whether to use store-bought Cajun seasoning or make my own. Either is fine. If I have the bulk seasonings, I tend to make it myself. The nice thing is you can add as little or as much heat as you want. Here I've got paprika, salt, garlic powder, pepper, onion powder, oregano, cayenne, and thyme. Now for the potatoes. I'm using a medium yellow potato for this recipe for a couple of reasons. They're the perfect size for wedges, and the skin on these potatoes is really thin, so you don't have to peel them. Do give them a good scrub though, to remove any dirt. Cut the potatoes into wedges. You want Goldilocks wedges, not too thick and not too thin. Put the wedges in a bowl and coat them with cooking oil. Sprinkle the seasoning over the wedges and stir to coat. Spread the wedges out onto a baking sheet. I'm going to put these in the oven for about 25 minutes. I'm going to check on them in about 15 minutes and flip them over. All right, Laura, I think we're ready to grill the burgers.
Okay, I'm just finishing up the onions and the barbecue sauce first. The onions have cooked down nicely and the barbecue sauce has thickened up. There's just one component left to prepare, and that's the garlic aioli. It's just mayonnaise, minced garlic, lemon juice, and a little salt and pepper. You can adjust any of these to suit your taste.
That sauce would be great on these potato wedges. I'm gonna mix some of that up too.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now I've got all the stuff ready to grill the burgers, so we're gonna get going. I've got the grill on medium high and it's set to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 200 degrees Celsius. I'll close the lid and let these cook for just about 3 to 4 minutes.
I'm just about to give these guys a flip. I let them cook for about 15 minutes before I flip them. They get nice crispy edges that way. You can spray them with a little more cooking oil if they aren't getting crispy enough, and dust them with some more seasoning. Put them back in the oven for about 10 more minutes until they're nice and golden brown. Okay, Laura, we're all good here. You ready to baste those burgers?
Basting the burgers is where the magic happens. The flavors in the sauce transform into this amazing glaze as it cooks, so be sure to brush plenty on each side. Now you can add the cheese. In these last few minutes, I'll also add the buns so that they can get warm up here on the top shelf. The amount of time the burgers need to cook depends on your preference. I like medium burgers, so I take them off when they reach about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. While I take these inside to assemble them, let's get back to Angie and those potato wedges.
My wedges took about 27 minutes to get perfectly crispy. They're just the way I like them.
Listen, can you hear them screaming? That's how I know when the potatoes are done.
Okay, that's weird. If you want, you can add more seasoning, but I think they're perfect just like this. I usually serve these with ketchup or ranch dressing, but today we've got this delicious garlic aioli.
Ooh, those wedges look great. That's gonna taste so good with the burgers. To assemble the burgers, first spread on some of your homemade aioli, then just add a few leaves of lettuce for some fresh crunch. Put the patties on, then we'll put on some of these gorgeous onions. Then, of course, I like to pour on a little more sauce for good measure. That's burger perfection. So that's our Whiskey BBQ Burger and Cajun wedges. Messy, but good.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring that bell for new recipes. See you next time.